Hi, good morning. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I had no idea what the significance of this day was, so I looked it up and I learned that on the 5th of May, Mexico defeated France during the Franco Mexican War. Interestingly, though, while it's a relatively minor holiday in Mexico, here in the United States, it's evolved into a big day of margaritas and Mexican food. Unfortunately, this year, it has to be either homemade or takeout. I was watching the news the other day, and just when we think we might be starting to flatten the curve and maybe even like soon see some light at the end of the tunnel, we now have murderous hornets coming our way, decapitating our honeybees. Yeah, why not? Just something else to add to our list of worries. The great theologian Charlie Brown once said this about worry: I've developed a new philosophy. I only dread one day at a time. Maybe he's onto something. There is a term going around now called the quarantine 15. It's the average number of pounds folks say that they've gained during this time of staying home. I'm not sure if that's true for everybody, but I do know there's another kind of weight we're carrying around now for sure. It's called worry weight, and it's tipping the scales. Because right now it does seem like we have a lot to worry about. And maybe you've even had stuff that you were worrying about before this virus hit. The thing is, we all know that worry, any manner of pace the floor, can't sleep at night fretting, changes nothing. It doesn't solve a single problem, yet we do it all the time. So, what's the solution? How do we hold back the worry when we feel it creeping in and taking over, when we feel restless, when our stomachs are always in knots over what's going to happen next? Well, 1 Peter 5, 6, and 7 is a good starting point. And I think I might have mentioned one of these verses before, but it's worth looking at again. See, while we will never know a life without concerns, Peter assures us we can know a life without worry. And that sounds wonderful, doesn't it? So what's the secret? Well, listen to what he says. Humble yourselves under the mighty power of God, and at the right time, he'll lift you up. Cast all your worries and cares on God, for he cares about you. See, when life gets heavy, fearful thoughts invade our minds, and it's completely normal to cry, grieve, fret, curl up in a ball for a little while, but that's not a healthy place to stay. And it's then we have to take Peter's advice. And the first thing he tells us to do is accept what we can't change. That's really why we worry, isn't it? We're afraid of the things we can't control. But what Peter is saying is that when we humble ourselves, it simply means admitting that we're not able to meet the demands of life on our own in our own strength. And instead of emotionally unraveling or even trying to deny this, Peter encourages us to say it, speak it out. But his words don't leave us there. He also encourages us to put our worry into God's all-powerful hands. In fact, the word cast actually means to throw. So whatever is worrying you, causing you concern, weighing you down, God literally wants us to throw all those things at him. Yeah, trusting him. But here's the thing. Once you throw them over to him, you have to leave them there. Last year we had our roof done, and the company left the dumpster overnight and said, oh, fill it up because you paid for it. And that's exactly what we did. We threw stuff out that we had in our garage for years, even an old broken grandfather clock that belonged to my sister. And the thing is, it's not just a toss. You have to actually chuck those things up and over to get them in the dumpster. But once they're in there, oh, they're gone. You can't get them back. And the truth is, it actually felt really good. It was really freeing. The truth for us is that we would all be better off if we'd actually learn to do that, especially with our anxiety. Because here's what I've discovered. As long as I try to do everything on my own, God will let me. And He'll leave me in my worry and fear as long as I hang on to it. See, He won't take care of my problems and anxiety until I admit that I can't take care of them by myself and chuck them all into His hands. And so maybe you're sitting here this morning thinking, all right, yeah, that sounds really good, but how do we actually do that? Well, it's easy, really. It's a matter of practical trust in God. See, the command is cast your anxiety on God, give it to Him. And the promise is because God cares for you. He loves you. That means He cares about the thing that has you worried. He wants you to trust that part of Him, that part about Him. See, even if it seems ridiculous to others, even to yourself, it's not ridiculous to God. See, when we humble ourselves enough to ask for His help, God is absolutely faithful to give it, no matter what it is we're asking. Now, it's not necessarily going to happen instantly or even overnight. Don't expect that. So every day, because of that, you have to work on it. And it's simple. It really is. Just start by giving God your day before you even get out of the bed. Whatever's going to happen, ask Him to be with you through it. And as the day moves along, when a situation arises that might cause you worry or dread and you feel that coming on, right then and there, stop what you're doing, call out to God, and throw it His way. Trust me, when you do that, even if your circumstances don't change, eventually you'll see changes in how you deal with things, even this virus. And you'll begin to calm down, maybe even start finding some joy right now. Because you don't have to carry that extra anxiety around like those extra pounds. Look, I admit I don't know a lot, but I know for sure that nothing will happen if you do nothing. So let's take Peter's advice. Let's try and shed some weight and give our worries, fears, and concerns to God. Throw them as hard and as far as you can, because God's got a great arm and He'll catch them all. So today I want you to stay safe, stay home, go outside in your yard or front porch or on the sidewalk and get some fresh air. It's a little bit colder, but it still feels really good to get out and get some fresh air. And always, always stay hopeful. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and look for the blessing. Believe me, we will get through this time. But you got to believe that. So try and hang on and have a good day. I think maybe I'm going to drive through Taco Bell and get some lunch. So happy May 5th. I love you. I'm praying for you. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Peace.